Which X titles are you reading on a consistent basis? And which ones you're like, I'm not wasting my time? Please let me know in the comments. My name is Thorne. This is SEM Comics. We continue our coverage of X-Force with number 3. So our story starts off in Cambodia. You have Forge, and he's trying to explain the algorithm. That's the little ball that he keeps staring into. And we see this big golden guy pretty much wrecking shop. That is NUKLO, and he has more dealings with the Avengers than he does with the X-Men, even though he is a mutant. The Forge is pretty much explaining to Sage that the algorithm pretty much can mirror the lines of dimensional, magical, and electromagnetic forces around the world. And in a nutshell, it pretty much locates fires that are happening. It lets them put out the fires before they turn into an inferno. And the way Forrest puts it, the last inferno that'll ever happen. The fractures, as he puts it, can be a person, an event, or both. And as we just said, they're apocalyptic in nature. Now, his mutant ability pretty much had him build the analog, and his mutant ability also had him build the team the way it is, because this is the most efficient team to handle these situations. And Sage is like, but hold on, Surge came after the fact. And speaking of Surge, she's looking out the window and she's like, guys, how the hell are we going to fix this? As we look at the city, and it is decimated. Now, you would think NUKLO would be the fracture, but he's not. The fracture is actually 100 miles to the north, so he's headed in that direction, but technically he's not the fracture. So Forge is trying to come up with a plan, and Surge is like, no, I gotta go help those people. Like, there's hundreds of people that are in trouble. And because he's super fast, skirts out of there and jumps out the plane. So Sage is like, well, that's a problem. And Forge is like, nah, she'll be fine. I modified her gear. She'll be okay. And Sage is like, I wasn't talking about her. I was talking about NUKLO. So she uses her glasses that Forge made her, and she pretty much is able to gather the information. And then she's able to project it so she can share with the class. So NUKLO is Robert Frank Jr. He was born from 2 superpowered individuals who used to be crime fighters around World War II. Now, NUKLO's claim to fame is he fought the Avengers twice to a standstill. Now, eventually he was captured, put in a facility, and studied for a long time. When he was captured, he had a mind of an infant or a toddler, but now he has a mind of an adult. So Bessie's like, well, obviously he's a fracture, and Forge is like, no, the fracture is still ahead, like I said, but he is connected to it. So then Rachel's like, okay, potato, we stop him, we stop the fracture. So next page, all we see is Tank come crashing down on this dude, and he's like, I'm sorry, my giant friend. It's time for you to take a rest. He busts out these extremist sticks and starts going to town on NUKLO. But all it takes is one hit. One hit. And Tank is down. Or should I say up? Because he is flying right past Bessie and Rachel. And Bessie's like, you go get Tank. And Rachel's like, well, I gotta go get Tank. And then Bessie's like, because I have a big sword, and she stabs the head out of NUKLO. So while this is going on, they're literally having an argument, a psychic argument, in their head with each other. Bessie gets caught off guard. She's about to catch a swift one from NUKLO when all of a sudden he just freezes. There's like fire around him, so you know Rachel has something to do with it. So Bessie's still talking mess to Rachel, and all of a sudden Rachel's not moving, and Bessie goes, oh, well, she's stuck in there. Let me go get her. And as soon as she goes in there, she sees Rachel fighting the Avengers. So I guess these old school Avengers are NUKLO's antibodies. And right now they're giving Rachel and Bessie all they want, or really just Rachel. As Bessie is still arguing with Rachel, she pisses her off, and then Rachel just uses all of her Phoenix powers, and now all the Avengers are gone. So they start searching his mind, and the center of his mind is the Avengers' old mansion. So as they're searching the mansion, they're talking amongst themselves, and they're talking about Tank, and they're like, when we read his mind, it's just nothing but static. So then Bessie's like, you think he's an LMD? And Rachel's like, want to put it past him. I mean, Forge can build anything. Why not build a person? If you don't know what LMD stands for, that stands for Life Model Decoy. Nick Fury, old school Nick Fury, the white Nick Fury, used them all the time, and I guess you could say Dr. Doom, his Doom bots, they're LMDs. So while that's going on, Forge figures out a way that he might be able to put down NUKLO. And Betsy and Rachel finally get to the center of his mind and they see a child. So I guess he diverted back from being an adult to a child again. And all of a sudden this child just starts screaming. And NUKLO starts screaming, which messes up Rachel and Betsy. So Forge reaches out to Surge. Surge is with a whole bunch of hurt people. And Forge is like, look, your heart's in the right place, but if you don't come help us now, there's going to be a lot more people that are hurt or possibly dead. So reluctantly, Surge takes off and heads straight to where Forge is at. She gathers up a whole bunch of electricity and hits NUKLO with it. He drops Rachel and Betsy. Forge jumps out. He starts shooting NUKLO. So now both Surge and Forge are hitting with it. And Forge is like, we need to put him down. And Surge is like, what do you mean put him down? But all of a sudden, NUKLO just rages, knocks out Forge, knocks out Surge, knocks out Sage. Betty and Rachel are already knocked out. And Tank is now the only man standing. Machine. I'm pretty sure he's a machine.